To do a video where I show a couple techniques I've used. And I think I've shown this in another video or so, but I can't remember having it isolated to where you could just see it. So this is radio AU right here, where you can sample from different radios, stations. I usually mess with jazz, and anything related to jazz is what I gravitate toward, but you can put whatever radio station you want. This is Fab Filter's Saturn. All I use this for is just to give it a little saturation. This is Dr. Vibe. I use this like on the subtle 303 just to add a little noise. But you can see I can turn that off. And this is Black Hole. These presets that I have in here are from um, TomWolf.uk. I've shown you guys that for Omnisphere, Pigments. So you can buy some of his presets he makes for Black Hole and bring them into your iOS and use them, which are really nice. Um, and then, of course, Koala. So what I do is I sample a portion of the radio in, and I'm really into the droney, stretching, ambient, textural type vibes when I do sampling. I don't really want to sample like your generic way of sampling where you chopping up a sample and playing it back in a different order or pitching it. Now I do pitch the sample sometimes, but you can see here like this one's pitched all the way 12 dB and this one's not. So I'll do that sometimes. Now this is the same sample. All I did was make two copies. I do the stretch and I usually do 16. And then what I'll do is I'll take like one of these and it's regular, it's going forward. And then I'll take the other one and I'll reverse it. But it's the same sample technically. And so then I pitch this one down. So now you get to just creating like more of a drone. And then this one's pitched or not pitched. And so you have that. So then when you put them together, you have, see, it creates this like cinematic soundscape. And you can have these two going across the back of your track while you play over them. So I'll drop the volume probably like 6 dBs, sometimes 3 dBs. Let's just get it as close as we can to 6. Same thing here. Maybe this one will be a little bit less just because it's played in reverse, so it's gonna be a sound a little bit different. All right, that's fine. So I'm just trying to find the proper volume. So this one I feel like could go back to 3, closer to 3. I don't care if it's like perfect or not, but if you double click, it's gonna go back to there. So just make sure you just get as close as you want it. So there's my soundscape to create the back, and that's 16 bars. So if you come into here and go double up, just double up till you get to 16. Now your first two are gonna be 16. So I'm gonna stretch that all the way out, and then I touch the second one, and now I have the bars that I need. Right? So of course, if your tempo is high, it's gonna play faster. I usually stay anywhere from 65 to 95 on most of my songs that I do. So I'm gonna do 78 and just listen to how it sounds. So this is my method of sampling that I like to use. You can do this in the SP, the MPC, whichever one, as long as they have like a time stretch, you can mess with that. And you get these interesting textural sounds that go on. Sonically, it just pleases my ear. I don't know why, but it does. And what happens here is by the time it loops around, you've never gotten the person listening has not gotten they're used to it, but they're kind of like they can't pick it out and figure out exactly what's going on. I don't know why it does that, but it's hard after 16 bars to remember what happened at the first bar because it's not as repetitive as just typical stuff. Now, this is just basic. You could go further. You could, before you put it in here, start time stretching it, add some different stuff to make extra movement happen. But I don't usually do that much, to be honest. This is just the background of the cinematic or soundscape of the piece. Then you can start bringing in like your drums and things of that nature. So if you go import, I'll just go to audio share and start grabbing some drums. Let's try this little pack here. Let's say we'll go get our snare first. Now I kind of like, depending on what you want to do. All right, so this one's a little busy. Let's go with this one right here. And then I'm going to do that. I prefer to have technically something that sounds more like that, like a little more subtle, subdued. And then if you wanted to resample a portion, so let's say you want to go, hold on, I messed that up. Hit the X, take it off import. We could do resample. So you can start building parts and things of that nature, depending on what you like. Or you could play it right in there. And then we're going to go in and add in you got to go back to import if you're going to do it this way. And we'll go back in and grab a kick. Now, this is just me showing you this portion of it. You don't have to do this. You could do it. I kind of like that one. So now you have, so this song could go cinematic. This song could be ambient. This song could be mixture of jazz over this. You could do whatever you want with it. It's up to you, really. I'm just showing you how you do it. Now, if you want to make your drums easier, sometimes I'll do, like I might do 2 bars. I usually don't do 2 bars, I'm lying. I usually do like 8 to 16 on everything. But if you just want to do something simple, you could, start the metronome in here. Remember it's synced here, so turn the record on and then press play. And then it's going. And then I'm just going to plug in that first one. Oops. See, remember is the last thing you did, so I'm going to just do this. So there's a start. Then just hit double till you get to 16. So now you have 16 bars. That's a quick way just to get some simple drums in. Now you can go back in and start adding more to your drums. So you might want to find yourself some type of hi-hat, right? So let's go in here. Let's see what they have under perks. There's a little tambourine. I don't make music on here often, so I forget what I even have myself. Let's see here. Some perks in there. Select that one. Put it on no repeat because I found this easy. And then I know you can do like triplets if you want to do. And you see me going up and down, I'm getting the velocity changes because I don't want to do this manually. It'll take forever. Plus it sounds better when you do velocity changes. And you could go back in and do your fills if you want. You don't have to, like, honestly, you don't have to sit here and do all this. But I like to do as much recording as I can, like hands-on recording, just because now we got that. So it gives your song a little more life, I feel. All right, so let's just say that's where we wanted it to be. So then I might come over here and then drop this in and mix. So now we have this. So you see how you have that textural background now? Now you can start building like your other stuff, like your pianos and things that you want to do over it. Just remember, if you build on this way, usually I have this over here so that you can have multiple tracks and record into it. So if you don't do that initially, you're gonna kind of have to go back and change it. So for instance, I'm gonna get rid of all this. I actually don't mind the saturation being on there, but I'm gonna get rid of that and set up a mix bus. Set a mix bus here. All right, and now you can go in and start putting in your other instruments in, depending on what you're gonna go with. I might use an organ or something, just something different. Say MIDI. So now I'm gonna use the MIDI to control that. But the only reason I'm using the MIDI is because I want to try out either use scalar chord pads, or I could use like something else. I'm just gonna use chord pads for this video. Link it. So we're linking these two. I haven't used this organ plugin in a minute. All right, cool. Now we'll see if there's something. All right, that'll work. Little jazz organ. You can put some effects on this too if you wanted to. Let's grab some chords. If you use scalar, these are just scalar chord packs I have in here. Let's grab that. Yeah, it doesn't sound the way I want it. So let's switch over and do something else. Now, I don't know what key this is being played in. So I'm just gonna try to find something. Now I've shown this before and I'm gonna show it just right here. Let's export this sequence. It could be mixed in this case, and I really don't care what it's called. The reason why we're doing that is to go to Chord AI, which is what I use when I don't know what in the world the key is, and I'm too lazy to figure it out. All right, cool. So it says it's in the key of E. We'll trust it since I don't really know. It's saying 78 BPM. That's actually true. It is 78 BPM. We know that. And we'll say it's in the key of E. So when I go pick my chord presets, I'm going to look for something in the key. Now, if you're in scalar 2 or 3, whichever, when you're watching this video, it's easy to just change over the chord to fit the scale. Whereas with here, it's a little more work. So I'm not going to worry about changing over. I'm just going to find something in the key of E. I just saw one. Here we go. Yeah, something like this. All right. Boy, and that sounds super dark. So let's see. This one soft usually, if I remember right, sounds pretty good. There we go. Because you got a drone. So this might be too dark. And then I'm just going to replace it. Because if it's too dark, what I find is that you'll muddy the sound so bad that you'll not like it. Personally, that's my thing. All right. So let's go here. We're just going to look for a suitcase. We could try it. I don't know. Might be too dark. And this may not work. I'm just trying out stuff to see. Mind you, I didn't plan this at all, which is okay. I just want to show you kind of what you can do. If you feel like it doesn't work, move on to something else, right? Don't fight it. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. That's okay. So piano may be better for this. I'm just gonna try it out. And if it doesn't work, which it doesn't not is not hitting, I'm moving on, right? I'm not even gonna stress that. That's okay. You don't have to use chords. You could use the drone itself and be okay with that, which I'm fine with. Um, let's see. But you could add some movement with other stuff like percussion and things that might uh, give you me. Oops. And I'm gonna just in this case use. And you can add other stuff in here too. So let's say I like this, but I want to put maybe like some reverb over it. So I'm gonna grab this one. This is like my Valhalla that I like so much on desktop. So give it a little air, and then the distortion right there will be. Let me see if we can delete remove these slots so we don't have so much to look at. So you don't need a lot. All right, we'll catch it. Oops. Go back to audio in. That'll work. check and make a loop. That'll work. So once you get a loop and you're confident with it, just go ahead and roll with it. Put the stretch on. Then at least it fits to the track and you know it's flowing with that same tempo. You don't have to do the stretch on there if you don't want to. I'm just showing you that. All right, so it's a bar. So you got to figure out in here what is a bar, and looks like a bar is right here. And then if you just wanted to snap it and then repeat and repeat till you get it, boom, done. All right. So now you have this. I'm going to make sure you turn off the loop if you have that on. In this case, you can see right here, I don't have it on, so I'm not worried about it. It's going to automatically loop in here. So we'll press play. So now you have a little percussion. So you might want to go over with some lead. It might be the next step that you roll with. So I'm going to make another track, add it to mix bus A. And you see we're sending mix bus A into Koala. Same principle. Pick an instrument or whatever you're going to use. Let's see. I don't know what I want to use. Here's the bass. I mean, you could do a bass like this, or you could do a different type of bass depending on what you want. Or like me, I probably would play my bass in because that's how I prefer. I don't want to do it on the screen. I don't get the feel really well when I do it on the screen for some reason. All right, so we could turn that off. Oops. Take that off the keyboard. That way the keyboard is free to put it on a different device. So that's basically creating a little track using a sample. And most importantly, I'm using the radio just to capture moment and then take that little moment and stretch it. I wanted to show you that, how I do it. So when you hear a song and it sounds like textural amazement, it's not much really to it. It's honestly maybe a couple effects. It's running the sample through a couple effects and then just stretching it, you know, as far as you can to make that sound. Of course, you can stretch it even more, but you lose some of the textural goodness if you go too far with it. It'll create a whole different atmosphere. So, but the fun part is it's so different. It don't sound the same, and you definitely don't have to worry about no copyright strikes or anything because you can't even tell what it is half the time. Some people don't like sampling like that, but I encourage you to try it. It's fun. It gives your track a little more character. And what you can do is you can sample multiple ways and include it in the track. Like you have that I showed you. You could sample the regular way with the same sample over the top, chop it up. And then at the same time, you could start making your own drums by maybe taking like a drum sample, for instance, right? We'll do that one there. And then you could grab maybe this sample. And we'll do something different with this sample instead of stretching it. We'll just grab something from it. I don't know. Now we'll just zoom in really close and we'll make something to add to the kick. We'll zoom in even closer. Maybe put some release on it. Just a little bit bit of attack. See when I put the one shot on it, how it sounds different. Now watch, I'm gonna take this kick and add that over the top. Now mix it. Hear the kick sounded different. Now you wanna do it again, throw it again, mix. Totally sounds like a different kick. Now you can replace the kick that you had if you want to. You could go, we're just gonna move this one away. Throw it away. Bring that one in. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. We're gonna keep this here. All right, so here's the new kick. Just get rid of this one so I don't get confused. Now listen to it. It's hard to tell that it's really different because it's subtle, but things like that where you can take the sample and use it with a kick and blend it, and now you have this totally new kick that sounds unique and different. You can do the same with your snares, your hats, etc. Just explore and have fun and get creative. This is not technically sound design, but some people would refer to that as a sound design thing, you know? Um, it's really not hard though. This is my little simplistic way of making something different and unique that sounds cool. All right, that's it for this video. Just wanted to give you guys some ideas of how I like to do when I'm sampling. I know it's different than what most people do, but just try it out, add it to your repertoire, and then embrace it in different ways, and you might find that you come up with some really cool, unique sounds and things that you can use in your song. All right. Hope all is well. That's it for this video. I'm out.